Welcome back to the Taranis series playlist. If you haven't been following along, I will leave a link for you in the top right of your screen now, or look in the description below. Today let's talk about custom sounds. I'm actually going to split this up into two separate videos because it is pretty lengthy. In this video we will be downloading a custom sounds pack and installing it. I will also show you how to rearrange your sounds for when we create basically custom sounds for your alarms and stuff like that. First thing as always, we want to enter the bootloader by holding these in and powering it on. Flip it around to the back and plug in our USB cable. And now we can just kind of put this to the side. Now we just want to go online. And I will say that there are many different sound packs that you can download. In this video I'll be using the Amber Sounds Pack. I really like it. I think it's a really good one. So to download that one, if you choose to use that one, you will go to open-txu.org. Once you're here, just go to version 2 and we will go to version 2.1 resources. Now just scroll down and you'll see a link for the Amber Sounds Pack. So we will just click download. And here I have my RC folder that I created where I keep all my RC stuff. I also have a Taranis folder, so I will be placing that into here. I'm going to make a new folder for the Amber Sounds Pack. Click that and I will just place my download into there. You can download it anywhere you want. I just like doing this so I know exactly where all of my downloads are going. And it makes it easier to find later. So I will go back to this folder, Amber Sounds. Here's what we just downloaded. I'm just going to right click and extract all, and extract. Once it is extracted, we can now delete this folder that we downloaded. We no longer need it. Now I will just click on this, and this will give us our sounds folder. Also, you get a Microsoft Excel worksheet that is going to tell you what all the abbreviations mean, and I'll actually show you more of that in just a second. But let's go ahead and put the sounds in the Taranis. So because we already have the Taranis connected to the computer, here's the memory card for the Taranis. I'm just going to take this sounds folder right here and completely delete it. After it's deleted, we will go back to the Amber Sounds Pack, and this sounds folder I'm going to copy, go back to the memory card on the Taranis, and paste the sounds folder there. Okay, once that's done, you can close this out. We will unplug the USB cable, power it off. And now once we power it back on, we should have the new Amber Sounds Pack.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Okay, fast forwarding a bit, I've already set up some things in the Taranis, and I'm going to show you how I did that to be able to set up your sounds.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Now you can...
Stabilization on.
The OpenTX, you can change that sound. And also, like you just heard, stabilization on.
Cheat mode on. Stunt mode active. Stabilization on.
You can change these sounds as well. And this is actually two completely separate things. So first let me explain. If we go to special functions, I have gone ahead and set up some switches. Not all of them, but just enough to show you how it's done. So once I arm it,
brick mode on.
It's going to say brick mode on. Then you've already seen my 3 different flight modes. Also, I have it set in logical switches. I just set up the barometer to where if it goes over a certain altitude, then it's going to warn me. So real quick, I'm just going to suck on my barometer.
Bad altitude.
So theoretically, you could set this for 400 meters or whatever, so if you go past that, it's going to warn you. I am not going to show you how to set up logical switches and special functions in this video. That's actually going to be the next video. I just wanted you to see this to be able to show you that to pick these sounds and know what these abbreviations mean, we will go back to the Amber Sounds pack. And remember that Excel spreadsheet I was telling you about? We're just going to click on that. And here is all of the abbreviations and what the full meaning is. So for example, like I said with my barometer, if it goes past that certain altitude, then it's going to say bad or bad altitude. And if we look right here, I have it set up for bad ALT, which is going to say bad altitude. So that's how I know what it's going to say. Then whenever I arm it, it's BRKMD. And we see right here, BRKMD is brick mode on. And so on, so on. You know, STBL on is stabilization mode on. CHTMDON is cheat mode on. And stunt mode active. So that's how you find what those abbreviations mean. Now there are other sounds that you can change. For example, like I was saying, when you turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Stabilization on.
So the welcome TX thing, and also let's just say we lose telemetry.
Telemetry lost.
You can change that as well, but it's not as simple as just going in your Taranis
Telemetry recovered.
and just setting it however you want. You actually have to set this on your computer. So to do that, we will just we'll leave this open, just minimize it, and we want to go to the memory card on the Taranis. So to do that, we will enter the bootloader mode again, click in the USB, and now we have the memory card. So we will click on Sounds, EN, which stands for English, click on that folder. In this EN folder, this is all of your sounds. And you can actually click on these sounds to hear what they sound like.
Flaps. I'll let you flick that switch again.
So if we go to the system folder now, this is those sounds that it's hard to explain. All these numbers, first off, this is just going to, she's going to say 1, 4, 10, and it goes all the way up to, I guess, 174. And then a bunch of these are other words that she says, and the way the Taranis works, it's actually going to string these together. So you can actually create a switch to where she will say your multi-rotor voltage, and say she says 12.4 volts. So that's actually going to be 4 different files. It's going to be 12, that's one file. When she says point, that's another file. 4 is another, and then volts is another. And it's stringing these together. So now what you really need to know is, how do we change the startup sound? You can click on these, like I said, to hear what they do if you don't know what the abbreviation means. I already know that the startup sound is the file tada.
Welcome to OpenTX.
So say we want to change that to something else. Let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet and say we find what we want. So I will now go back, and we want to go back to the EN folder, and the one I want her to use on the startup is called Turn On. Here is Turn On right here. I'm going to right click and copy it. Do not cut. If you cut it, then you're going to mess things up. Copy it. Now go back to the system folder. I will come down here and I'm just going to paste this same file but also in the system folder. And there we have it right there. So tada, which is the startup sound, I'm going to completely delete this. And remember, you have to remember exactly how these are spelled, because now we will just take this turn on file and you have to rename it. You cannot just leave it there or it's not going to work. So I will name this tada exactly like it was before. And that's it. Now say we want the RSSI warning messages to change.
RSSI low.
So there is RSSI low, which is RSSI-org. Come back to here. So once my RSSI gets low, let's just say I want it to say negative Ghost Rider pattern is full. So that's going to be NGTV blah blah blah. Go back to the EN folder. And we see it right here. Once again, I will copy it, not cutting it. Go to System. I will paste it. Find RSSI-org. Delete it. And name this exactly like it was before. Okay, now we're done. I'm just going to do those two examples for now. You should have the idea by now. So now you can just completely close that out, disconnect your USB cable, turn it off. Now once we turn it on, we should have changed the startup sound.
You turned me on. Stabilization on.
Okay, that worked. Now let's test RSSI low. I'm just going to bring my RSSI low value up. Now I'm just going to try to cover up this antenna as much as I can.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Okay, so that worked as well. If you want to know what all other sounds you can change within that system folder, all you have to do is just go back to system folder, click on the sounds, hear the sound, and then that lets you know, oh, okay, so I can change this to say this. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. The next video I will actually show you how to create your own custom sounds, and then the video after that I will go further into explanation of how you set up your logical switches and special functions to be able to play these sounds for certain variables. So like I said, check out the Taranis series playlist where you'll find all of these videos, links in the description below, and I will see you soon.